One variable statistics, histograms and interpreting data, Form 1. A histogram is a common graphical method of presenting data. Histograms organize data into bins, which are chosen ranges of data. And histograms are similar in appearance to a bar graph, which organizes categorical data. So here, the bins are each of these ranges, 60 to 65, 65 to 70, 70 to 75, 75 to 80, 80 to 85, and 85 to 90. Those are the bins. And this is a histogram because it's numeric data. It's data collected in numbers. There's other kind of data, categorical data, which includes things like if this were cats and dogs and cows. So instead of numbers, if there were categories of things, like categories of animals, then that would be a bar graph. In the histogram at right, how many bins are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 bins. How many data points are in the first bin? Well, we can look up right here, over there. That would be a 3. It's halfway between 2 and 4. So the first bin contains 3 data points. We call this the frequency of the bin. It's the number of data points in the bin. So in that first bin, there are 3 data points. In that bin, 60 to 65, we can't know exactly the height of each of the trees, but we can say something about the heights of those trees in that bin. They are at least 60 feet tall, no less than 60 feet, and they're up to, but not including, 65 feet tall. So we can say that the trees in the first bin are at least 60 feet tall and less than 65 feet tall. So one way we can, it says the ranges of the other bins are, but first we're going to give the range of that bin. So the height of the trees in that bin are between 60, so I have an less than or equal to, so 60 is less than or equal to the height of the trees, and the height of the trees are less than 65. So you can't include any trees of height 65, but right up close to it, like 64.9. The rest of those bins, 65 to 70, it includes 65 in this case. It always includes the lower number, but not the higher number. 70 is less than or equal to the height of the trees, which is less than or equal to 75. 75 is less than or equal to the height of the trees, which is less than 80. 80 is less than or equal to the height of the trees, which is less than 90. Just to be clear, this is the range of all of the trees' heights in this bin, right? Oops, it should have been 85, not 90. There we go. So this is the range for this bin right here, and all of the trees in there. And then the last one there is 85 is less than or equal to the height of the trees, which is less than 90. And now the question is, there were a total of how many trees measured? Well, in the first bin, there were 3. In the second bin, there were 3. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 10 is 24. 24 plus 5 is 29. 29 plus 2 is 31. So there were a total of 31 trees measured in this data. A distribution is just the list of all of the data. We can explain the shape of a distribution, so explain the shape of the data with a few basic descriptions. Here, if we follow a line along the top there, it looks kind of like that, and we say that that's normally distributed. It's a normal distribution. The other thing that we can say is if we put a line down the middle right here, the data on this side looks pretty much like the data on that side, except reflected. So we can say that that data is symmetric. This data has a hump here on the left and then this tail going out to the right. And so we say that that is skewed right. The direction that the tail goes tells us which direction the skew is. This one has this tail from the left, or going out to the left, and then a hump on the right. So that is skewed left, because the tail goes off to the left. This last distribution, it's kind of flat all the way across. And so we can say that that data is uniformly distributed, and pretty much it looks the same to that side as it does to that side. So it's pretty much symmetric. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly symmetric in order for us to say that it's symmetric. But that's pretty much all there is to know at this point about histograms and interpreting data.